Hello, hello, hello. I believe I'm live. Looks like we got sound. I see the chat is coming up. So hopefully you are able to say hello so I know who is here today. Welcome. I am Linda Israel. I need to change my intro, so I didn't play it today. But I am a multimedia, mixed media artist that does junk journals, stamping, gel printing, and more. So I hope you enjoy my live stream. Do know that if you're watching this as a playback, look for the gear and you can change the speed and speed through this if that makes you happy, because sometimes I like to speed through stuff so I can watch more. Check the description box for some of the items that I'm using. I do have links to an Amazon store and I do get commission, although it does not cost you anything extra. So if you just want to support me by using my link to get to Amazon and then placing your order, even if it's not from my actual item, it's whatever you're buying today, I greatly appreciate it. What else? My website links are down below for some of my things. I haven't updated all my digitals on my website. So if you have been thinking about buying one of the old subscription box digitals, I've got to get some updating done. So if there's one that you're wanting right away, let me know. I'm going to be working on this a little bit here and there because I had so many products. What else? Thank you, Julie. My rubber stamps and stencils are also in my shop. And then, of course, I've got some links to Calico Collage. Norella is a friend of mine. She is the one that did all of the designs in the subscription boxes that I offered. And I just either gave her a theme, or in some cases I actually drew some art and made stencils and or gel prints, and she used those. So she is a very talented lady. Definitely check out her stuff. So I've been prepping for my garden in the backyard around the house. If any of you have followed me for any length of time, I post over on my Facebook page, my personal page. I sometimes post to my public page, so find me on Facebook. I have a little bit of a gardening space around our home. I've mostly planted flowers. My mother got me started by staying with me for 2 years, and she started planting lilies in my yard. And then she came home one day and told me and my husband that this whole length of our fence in the backyard needed to be dug up and we were going to put a bed there. And we were like, well, alrighty then. So, following my mom and just kind of experimenting in my yard, we started planting things. This year we've decided we are going to do more food items. And so I was trying to think about how I could journal this information, because with food items especially, you may need to know that last year they grew really well in XYZ corner, and the year before that they did terrible in other corner opposite of that. Whatever the situation may be, or the growing medium that you use. And it can get rather technical, but it's also just good to kind of keep notes of successes and failures, because sometimes you learn that, well, that spot needs something that gets less sun. So, a shady plant would work better there. So you kind of have to learn from that. So I want to make a journal. I'm rambling. I want to make a journal for some of my garden things. So I was looking around in my stash and I thought I could use a 3-ring binder. I have an old one here when I was a member of Toastmasters, and it has a few sheet protectors in it, and it has some old style page divider things. And then I've got some pages out of an insurance manual, and I thought I could use those as foundations. And then this is like one of my drawings that I started in making my notes about my garden. So that's what prompted me to say, okay, I need to make a journal. So I've got this 3-ring binder, and that is the reason I'm making my journal pages the size that I'm making it. standard 8.5 by 11 3-ring binder. I think it's roughly 2.5 inches thick, so it should hold a few pages. And I figure if it gets to the point that it is full, that the style that I'm wanting to make my pages would allow me to get another binder, which I know I have another one up there. It's just not the same color, but I have another binder, or I can find another binder and separate the pages. You know, maybe I'm going to put flowers in one, or I'm going to put only vegetables, or I'm only going to put, you know, fall plants in here and summer plants in the other. You know, there's other ways to kind of organize a little bit. But I figured I need to get started or it'll never get done, right? Well, I know that Jennifer Edmondson has a doctor or physical therapy type, I can't get my word out, session. I guess she is. She's going to go work out her muscles in the arms and whatnot to help her body be able to move better. So I don't know anybody else. I know that Margie's been sick off and on, so I hope that she's feeling better. And of course, everybody else, if you're lurking out there, do speak up and say hi. So I kind of played around with some of my supplies that I had here on my desk and was trying to come up with an idea of how I wanted the page to look. And I'm basically using an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. It had some printing on it, and so I chose to glue on the side where the printing is. And I have somewhere, I don't know where it is at the moment. Is it right there? No, it's not there. I don't know where it is because I haven't seen it in a while, which means it's probably either in a drawer or a tub. But I have a notebook hole punch. It has spots to punch 3 holes, and I know I have one. I just got to find it because I was pretty confident that it was here. And over the years, I've moved things around because I don't use it that often, which is evident from not knowing where it is for a very long time. And that would make this a lot easier because I could set it, and when I punch the pages, every time they're going to fit perfectly. As it is, I'm using my Crocodile, and so I covered the paper, and then I came back with the existing holes that were on the paper that I'm using as the foundation and just punched holes in the middle so that it would be ready to put in a notebook. And so I was trying to decide, you know, how do I want this layout to be? I think I want a place to be able to write. I wanted to have something pretty. I have a label here that I could use or not use. I don't have to put that on there. I could put stamping inside there. I decided maybe a page tab would be good. I didn't glue the backside down because I didn't decorate the backside. I don't know if I'm going to leave it blank or if I want to come back and either cover it with writing paper or if I want to put a companion product, maybe, you know, because I was kind of thinking that if each page got their own, that would be better because I could put them in categories of whatever the type is and the name, you know, or I could also segregate it into fall or, you know, winter or spring, whenever you're supposed to plant the seeds. I don't know. That's kind of what I've started with. So I used a calico collage image here, and then I have a stack of pages out of a gardening book from when I did the subscription boxes. And so I thought, well, you know what? I have these leftovers. This is the junk. I have all these leftovers from subscription boxes. I needed to find a way to use them. And another thing I have here is a bunch of digital images, most of which are calico collage. There's a couple of my gel print in here, but the rest of them are calico collage. And I think I used Apothecary Garden, Grandma's Garden, and oh, what is the other one called? Amarillo Rose. was another one that I know I had some of these. Hey, Connie. Hey, Julie again. I figured that way they're kind of florals, and so I can pick pretty things in the background and go from there. And then this one I think is more digitals and writing type paper. So I thought I have seed packets, and even if I empty the seed packet, I want to keep the seed packet, and it has all the information. I don't want to glue it down. So I thought, well, what if I made a pocket? And I made a pocket out of acetate. And I know that when I build more pages, I don't want this pocket in the same spot. Otherwise, it'll just make the journal be really fat here along the bottom. So I want to make sure that I move things around. But I thought, okay, a nice little pocket. And then another thing that I do and have for a couple of years now is I cut up aluminum drinking cans or soda cans. When I worked for a large insurance company, we had sodas in the refrigerator that the employees could pay a lower price than going down to the vending machine, and we would go shopping every so often and replenish those. Well, I asked one day if my fellow employees would rinse out the can, don't crush it, and put it in a box. If they do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. So they did. So I made all kinds of art out of soda cans, and I started cutting my own plant tags. Instead of buying plant tags, I'm using something that I've recycled. I just kind of cut it into a shape. I have big handwriting, and so I write large, and I get it all cut. And I thought, well, if I make a pocket page like this, I go ahead and I know what seeds are going there to go ahead and do a plant stake so that when I plant those seeds, I'm ready to go and I'll be able to write out whatever I want. Another thing that I've been doing is taking photographs of some of the setup, whether it be I took a picture of I did some onions. So I took a picture of the container that I was using for the onions, and whenever it gets bigger, I'll probably take some more photos and write some notes about this was on day X of growing these, so I kind of get an idea of this is how it worked. I don't know. It's kind of like being a mad scientist. You're experimenting. So if I put the seed in this kind of dirt and add water to it this amount of times, what is the result? And so this is my, my notebook I happened to find my field notes stamped out little words. I couldn't find any one that said notes, so I must have used them all. So I'll have to stamp out some more notes to use. And I thought, well, that'd be kind of fun there. And I can put photographs on here if I want. I could print them to put them in the pocket. So there's lots of options that I can use this for. So that's the first one. I'm going to get my notebook out here, and I can open it up, and this would fit because I punched the holes right in there. So I think that'll look really cool. And when I want to write on it so that it's easier, I can take it out of the notebook and then write. So this one I have not planted yet, so I'm not going to write anything on here, but I will grab another one of these papers. And I think what I want to do is I have all these seeds here, and I know that I planted these seeds here on the top. So all of these seeds have been planted. They're different types of onion. I haven't decided in this instance, maybe this is a discussion, it's kind of thinking it out loud of how I want this journal to come together. I'm building it with the idea that I want to be able to put specific things on that page at a later date. So how do I go about it? I have planted 4 different types of onions, and I think, I have 4 separate containers. I was trying to remember if I did them, I think by individual containers, and I wanted to see how well they turned out. So do I make a separate page for each onion type, or do I make one that holds the seed packet for all 3 or 4 of these, and that way I can say, all right, in fact, I may even make a staggered pocket like this. You know, I can say, all right, this particular one did really well here. This one did well here. You know, so on and so forth. That may be the challenge. I think I'm going to do that. Make all 4. All right. So then I have these lettuces that I use, and for the most part, all these seed packets are the same width. They're different heights, it looks like, by the brand, but I think they're going to be okay. I planted this and I planted this. So these were 2 lettuces, and I think I want to make another page because I did plant these at the same time. I don't know. I'm going to set that aside. All right, now I've got my seeds ideas. Yeah, you would do all 4? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Is I know you're living in an apartment now, but always remember that you can do container gardening. If you have a little bit of I don't know if you have a patio or if you have a balcony that gets some sun, you can always put plants out there. So remember that, you know? All right, so I've got this piece. Do I stay with the same color theme just because I already have this one cut? Let's do that. All right, and then what I did earlier was I just kind of flipped through. These were pages out of a book, and I'm thinking to kind of change it up a little bit, I'll cut off the excess edges, and then I think I'll cut a little bit of this off and put it in this corner. I know I have another one of these that I have written where I can write. I could put it down here at the bottom, but I'm thinking maybe instead I'll put it here. And then I want to make a pocket to go here in the corner. Does that make sense? Now, I did cut some acetate because I have a bunch of transparency film to make my pocket. And I have this green paper, so I'm going to use it because I've already got it cut. And the page I'm working on is kind of green. Okay. So then, let's put this over there. I'm looking at my scraps. I may want this. So what I did was, I'm going to slide this over. I have this strip. I'm going to turn it face down, and then I've got this little piece of acetate that I want to glue on. And ooh, things are falling. Your balcony's on the hottest side of the building. Yeah, you know we'll survive. It may be cactuses. Cactus, maybe? All right, so I'm going to put the Fabri-Tac glue along the acetate edge. And I have a habit of closing up my Fabri-Tac glue because if I don't, it seems like it starts squirting out, and I don't want a big old mess. And I'm using the Fabri-Tac because the acetate won't stick. You could use double-sided tape, so if you like a double-sided tape, you could do that. You never liked cactus? Hey, how are you, Naomi? Welcome, welcome. Succulents? Yeah, succulents. Cactus, I kind of put them in the same category. Cactus / succulents, because there's a lot of really pretty succulents out there that have lots of color and large bulbous, leaves to them. And if you keep them well fed and watered, they have beautiful blooms that are so unique. You just don't overwater them, right? I had, what is it called? It's a sedum type of succulent that I have that I loved. My brother had given me some of the plant years ago, and it has since died off because it's been, it froze, or the summer was too hot that it cooked it. Didn't matter. Or just the opposite. We had so much rain, it just drowned. And it was, it would come up as little spikes, and it would put off a real pretty little yellow bloom. Sometimes it seems like the bloom might have been pink. I'm trying to remember, but I think it was yellow. And it was just so prolific in this one little area in our front yard. And then, like I said, the elements got to it. So I need to see if I can find some more since I liked it. All right, so I went ahead and just glued all the way around the acetate. This is what's going to be to the piece to kind of hold my pocket in place where I want it. And I've got some scraps of book page here. What I want to do is cut a piece that will fit inside. So I think, let me move this out of the way. I think I set that at almost 2 inches. So I'm going to go maybe 2 1/8 was what the depth of those were. And I believe the width was 3 1/2. So I just cut a piece so that when the pocket is empty, you'll see the back here. I could decorate it if I want, but I'm just making sure it fits within my parameters, and it does. So I'm going to fold the edges and then trim off the corners. Guava. Yeah, guava are lovely. Some large offcuts and transported them into your garden. They take up such a good amount of space, and the root system is so tight, it cuts off the weeds. Oh, wow. Nice. Wow. Oh, no. Yes, you got to remember where the cactuses are. They'll get you. Oh, wow. We have a couple of native cactuses in Oklahoma. I see people growing them in their yards every once in a while. I want to have a more tropical to English garden kind of thing. I want to have all the pretty flowers and all the pretty things. I like some of the tropical plants. Like I have some mandavellas that I got at Lowe's last year, because I've had them in the past, but they always died because they are a tropical plant. And when we get winter going here in Oklahoma, that plant doesn't like the cold and it dies. So since I have the greenhouse this year, I decided, I'm going to put it in the greenhouse and see how it does. And they've flourished. They've done really well in the greenhouse. They're still blooming. So I'm hoping that I can keep some plants like that alive and be able to put them out in my yard and enjoy them during the hot months, and then be able to transport it back into the greenhouse later. Eclectic garden, exactly. I just want all kinds of things. We're gonna put out the onions. We've got some lettuces, spinach, arugula. I want to do some summer squashes. We're going to do carrots, kale, watermelon and cantaloupe. So we've got a lot of things. We last year did have tomatoes and peppers, like poblano pepper. And they didn't do perfect. They did okay. So, I want to take the notes, in a sense, from what happened last year that I remember and apply those to a notebook that says, okay, well, we did this and here's the results we got. So this year, let's try this and see what results we get. I'm just going around this piece and cutting it out all the way around. Just cutting off the sides. Set that up there. Okay. I think now I want this is going to go up here. This is going to go here. Now what I may do is move this down some, because that's what I did on the other one. And the reason I did that was the size of my pocket, which I may need to move in because of the hole here. And I was going to put this piece in here. And what I did before is I cut off this portion up here, and then I put some of it up there. So I know it sounds weird, but the reason why the quilt ended up the size that it was is because something didn't work right and they cut off the bottom and put it to the top. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you've never really talked to anybody that's done a large amount of quilting. And a lot of people are like, why did you buy a piece of fabric that was whole that could have made, this size by this size and then cut it up into little bitty pieces? Once you get past the rock layer, it's lovely soil that plants would flourish in, but getting through is the trick. Yeah, probably a digger to get off. See, I regret in my garden yard that we put down rock all around our yard in different places, and I regret that. So what I've been doing is going around and pulling up the rock that is in a bedding area that I want to plant something, removing that rock so that I can clean it all out and plant things. In some cases, I have put down a weed barrier, and in some areas, I just put down mulch so that I could keep weeds under control. Okay, I think I kind of like something like that. And I was just using the images there. I can end up putting other stuff on here, but this is kind of the foundation. Hey, Glitter! Hello! What are you calling her? You were thinking of, Australian native rock orchids that would look nice amongst the rocks. Yeah, they are very hardy. Could send you a photo. Oh, that sounds really pretty. Oh, sugar cane mulch is the best for strangling weeds but flourishing plants. That's wild. Here where I'm located, we have arborists that will go around, and for pay, they will cut down trees, and many of them mulch that tree bark. Well, there's a website called ChipDrop, ChipDrop.com, and you plug in your information of where you're located, and if that you're wanting wood chips or if you want wood chunks, And I think there's another category, a mix of both. And then you donate. Basically, it's just to help keep that website running. And you make a donation, and then the arborist, local to you, will send you a message. We're on our way, and I got a truckload of mulch, which we used almost all of it, delivered to our yard, wood chips, so that oh, I forgot one. We didn't have to go to the hardware store and buy their product, which all of that with the dyed stuff is not good in your yard. There's just so many bad things about it. If you're going to be growing plants, if you're just doing it for landscaping, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I've got all my little components here. I know this piece is going to go here, and this piece is going to go here. And I just want to put it in such a width that there's no blank paper underneath. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to glue this one down. And then start gluing the other pieces on top. You're slowly digging down to making holes to add plants that need the nice soil. Yeah, I can imagine it's hard on your body. I know all about that. Let's work, work, work. All right, I think that covers. I come down just a sliver. There we go. I'm not really paying attention to whatever the book page had on it at the moment because it's going to be covered up. But oh, I did this wrong. Well, maybe I won't do the onion one yet. I think I'm going to have to create a triple pocket. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. All right, I think I'll put this one here and this up there. So now do you see why I'm cutting up the pieces? Now, I could have used just scraps, but I already had the pieces here, so I'm just using what I've created on my desk, and I am accomplishing the stashing of items that I've collected here, using one piece of paper and a book page at a time. Okay. Smooth that out. Oh, gel prints in the mail. Nice. That's awesome. I can't throw them away. I can't throw them away. It's hard for me to throw away gel prints. I hoard them. And again, that's why I'm trying to use them up even on little border things like this. All right, so I'm going to put that in the corner. Smooth that out. Okay, so now I've got this little space here, so I'm going to move the pocket over just a little bit so it's not right into the hole that I need to punch. And I just realized I forgot to put distress inks on this portion, so I'll do that real fast. Might as well do this edge. Okay, and since we got a gel print here, I'm going to glue this down. And I'm going to glue the whole thing down. I'm going to have to play around for a couple of minutes on making a multi-pocket. I'm trying to decide if I just want to do it in the way where I used to do those accordion folded pockets. That may be what maybe I'll test it out here in a moment. Okay. On the other one, I stamped in the corner, and just because I like the symmetry of the pages, it's okay if a couple of them are the same. I mean, I am using the same paper. So I've got the henna rose stamp, and I'm going to stamp that in the corner. I came down a little bit more on this one. The other one I didn't come down as far. Just so I make sure that I have the holes. I've got my crocodile here. I need to adjust this. Yeah, just a little bit. Let's see if that's enough. It's pretty close. This way I got the hole punched if I decide that I want to go ahead and decorate the other side. I can use the hole on this side to repunch it. Okay, on the other one, I did use a little label in the corner, and I'm thinking of just putting these two lettuces in the pocket, if I can get it in there, because I grew them at the same time. And let's get my labels. Do I want this one? I could do that one. Oh, and another thing is I have some of these tabs that I punched, so I might as well use those. Okay, so get the distressing out. Kind of go around. I have some stickers here, but I haven't decided if I want to use those on the pages or if I want to make something with them. You know, like I could see these could be cute faux postage in the corners of a fake envelope, you know. That's an idea. I don't know. So I was thinking I would put this maybe a little bit lower on the page. And then I'm going to glue that up there. Chick-a-ma-fink! Hello, Margie! So glad you're here. Okay, and this is going to go over here. I'm just going to glue the one side again because I'm not sure if I'm going to decorate the back or if I'm going to just write on the back side. I mean, it's obvious that this is some kind of junk mail behind there, but I can definitely write on this side. I don't want to add distressing to it until later. Okay, I like the way that turned out. And I'll be able to take my notes that I have here and transcribe them over. Look at there, I got 2 pages made today so far. So like this tab's here. So I'll be able to go, okay, all right, that's, yeah, I like it. All right, so I want to make a pocket to hold all of these. And it looks like they are about an inch in difference in order to get this stair step effect. So I need a pretty long piece of paper because what I want to do is kind of make an accordion fold and see if I can't make 1, 2, 3, 4 spots, and then I can go from there decorating my page. So that might work. So the idea is I want to fold. Is that right? I don't remember. Well, okay. That's going to be the bottom. So what I want to do is go like that. So I'm saving this little piece on the back side because that's how I'll glue this down. And I've got one here. So then I'm just going to come up about an inch and see if I can do it. I may have to splice some paper together. Okay, I got to go right to there. I know this may not make a lot of sense, but I'm trying to stair step this so that when this one's here and this one's here, it doesn't cover up the name. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so then I need to go right about here. Come on. And then this is going to go up. But I need another piece of paper. All right. So I'm going to look here for scrappy scrap. Scrappy scrap. Here's, we'll just use this. Okay, so I need 1, 2, one more. So I'm going to just splice this together by putting some glue here. And I'll just kind of pop that in. All right, so got this one, this one, this one, and then we're folding it up. I should have come over a little bit, but that's okay. And then if I go 1 more inch, and I'll make this one a little bit deeper on the back. So now, if I've done this right, I should be able to put 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 there. And now I could see all of those. Yeah? Right? So, I am going to trim this side as best I can. Okay. I don't need this to be super tall, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just trim off that top piece. Okay. And this is going to be the way it comes down. Now, do I want to just fold the edges over? Let me see what happens if I lay this on here. Try to line this up a little bit. And I'm going to score this edge. And I'll fold these all to the back. Okay, so now that I got that side, I need to make sure that if I do this on the other side, that I don't come over too far. So I could actually make that right about there. Let me go ahead and check this. Yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah. I'm just building it as I go. So now I'm just going to fold this over to the back side. Okay. And yeah. I think I'm trying to decide if I want to put a back on this and make it one solid back, long pocket that we could put something in. That's what I'm doing. I'm contemplating that. So let me grab another book page, and I would just cut a strip to fit back here and glue this all down. I want it a little bit smaller than the pocket inside. And I'm going to cut off this top portion. Actually, no, I don't have to cut it off yet. I'm going to cut it off after. So I cut it off at the right spot. Okay. So if I do this right, I put this in here, and when I glue this down, I have a pocket here that won't interfere in anything. Does that make sense? So I am going to go in here and distress those layers, and then let's decorate them. You know, we could put some stamping. I could spray it with some tattered angels. I could cut some strips of paper to put over that spot, because they're roughly an inch, so I may have some scraps we could use over here. So before I glue it to the other piece, let me see if that's what I want to do. Do I want to stamp on that or look at some strips and put some strips on there? So imagine, I mean, you don't see, so maybe I should just do the one on the bottom. And then this one goes here. I think I should do the one on the bottom. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add some color to this so it's a little bit more colorful, brighter. I don't know what page I'm going to put behind it, so maybe I should think about what I want to use. I don't want to be stuck on this green, but I sure like it. I could do it on this blue, and oh, I saw an image a little while ago Where was it? Ah, come here. I mean, this is just flowers, but I could put that on the page, and then I could cut another piece of this. So what color should I make the pocket? Because these are all white, so I really want a little bit better contrast. Maybe this pink? I know it's not onion color, but that's what I want to do. All right, I think I'll put some gloves on. Maybe I'll spray it with a little bit of some Tattered Angels. Look at it. See if then I want to do some rubber stamping. That's kind of where I'm thinking. So I'm going to get my box here. And just to kind of make sure all the edges that could be visible are covered out. And what color? Maybe a pink? Yeah. I'm looking. I think I need to put a new label on this box. That's red. That's not pink. That's red. That's kind of a purpley. Yeah, I think maybe. What happened to my pinks? Oh, here we go. I've got this pale pink, but I think it may be too light. Okay, I've got a couple of shades of pink here. Because I was kind of thinking of this picture a little bit. I don't know what color these are. This one's black cherry. This one doesn't have a name. This one's pretty pink. Maybe I'll mix these together. Pink! All right, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your glitter. Actually, glimmer mist. All right. Let's see if this is clogged up. Oh, something came out. All right, I think I want this darker pink. Oh, come on. Don't lock up on me. Yep. Let's see if I washed. I did. I've washed a few sprayers in case I needed one. All my empty bottles, I take them out and I wash them. And that way, if I need one, hopefully, yes, that's much better. Okay, I think I like that. Kind of the two different shades of pink there. Set that over to the side. All right, let's dry that. Shake you! Shake the glitter! Hercules! What are you doing, old man? He may not be with us much longer. He's coughing right now. He's damaged his trachea a little bit, so now he has that kind of like a goose call cough. He's losing his eyesight. He's losing his hearing. He's got dementia. Now he's got kidney issues, so he has to pee all the time. His eyes, he has to have special eye drops every day. It's like, oh, the poor guy. He's been, if I leave him to go somewhere, go do something, he panics. I think I want to fold this over. So he starts to panic and basically has a meltdown, and it's so sad because I'm getting ready to go on vacation, and I don't want to leave him with somebody that they don't understand what's going on in his poor little brain. Hercules wants to dance with you, yeah. What you doing, little man? Huh? You know where your food is, don't you? I may have to go show him the food bowl, see if he gets upset here in a moment. All right, so I need my little piece of paper. Is this it? That goes on the inside. That's not it. Maybe it is. I think what I did was I cut it or folded it over, so. I know, it's so sad, Naomi. You know that heartache, don't you? When you're just watching them, it's like, oh, come on, Hercules. And here this last week, he'll get up, and then sometimes he falls right back down. Or if he shakes his head, he loses his balance and falls down. He's starting to get back up. He's not staying down, but it's like, oh, Hercules. Makes me sad. I think what I'm going to do is just, just glue this all together. So I'll put down some glue and fold over and add some more where necessary. Okay. I don't know, you like this pocket idea? I was going to stamp on it and I forgot, but maybe I'll still do that. Yeah, it's just sad. I think he went to go see the food. Okay, good. He got up. I'm like, oh, Hercules. He doesn't want to ride in the car anymore. I mean, that was one of his favorite things, is to go with me. I'd go to the hobby store, or I could go into, back when Tuesday morning was open, we'd go into Tuesday morning, go to Hobby Lobby, anywhere that would allow me, because he was my buddy, he's my companion. But he doesn't want to sit in my lap anymore. He used to. He'd come over here while I was doing the live stream, and he would paw at me until I let him up in my lap. And he's just not interested. Okay. Now I can stamp on that. Aww. Oh, I'm so sorry, Naomi. Oh, rupture. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, and Hercules has cancer. I forgot about that. Thankfully, he has no visible growths, but I think something's going on in his brain, and that's why he's having these dementia moments. That's what I think anyway. I think I want to stamp over this. I thought I had a big background stamp out, but I just have the henna rose, so we'll just use that. I think I'll just kind of go down the edge. And maybe at the top and the bottom. I'll go this way. Okay, let's see how this is coming together. All right, this piece needs to be trimmed. I just took an 8.5 by 11 and then cut it in half, so it's 5.5 inches. And now I'm cutting 4 1/4. So I'll have a nice little piece of paper. And this is coffee dyed paper that I've had. All the good memories, yeah. Wombat, because you could trip over her. What are you doing on the floor? Yeah. Yeah, you've got to remember all the good days, and it's sad because he loved going to Hobby Lobby, and he would watch the people, and the employees started to know him by name, and he's like, oh, there was one lady. It's kind of funny. Um, she would always come up to Hercules and say, "Oh, you're so pretty," and he would she'd get in his face and breathe on him, and he would always shy away. Well, it's because she smoked. He didn't like the smell of cigarette smoke. He would just back up. Because anybody else that came up to him that did not smoke never had a problem. And it was only because of that. I've had one other person get in his face, and Hercules would be like, "Oh, no, get away, get away." It's like, I don't like cigarette smoke either. Okay. I am losing my mind. Where'd it go? Did I get one out? Oh, I guess not. I thought I got one of these out. Because I think I still want to cover it, even if I use the whole gel print. And I was thinking putting the flowers there, the pocket this way, and we can put our notes up there, because this is going to go like that. Kind of shake the seeds down or shake them up to the top. Is what I meant to say. Shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout, twist and shout. Okay, like that. Yeah? It's going to come in, though, because of the binding, right? Or I do it this way. I think that's better for this one. I think I like this. All right, so I'm going to glue all this down. I don't think we need another pocket because we are getting this pocket here when I glue this down. So we can put a tall tag in there. And that may be what I do. Okay, let's glue this down. Miss your Getty that you lost? Yeah. It hurts, it's never easy. And they know when you need them. Hercules, if I didn't feel good, he'd come lay with me. He'd lay on me. I'd take a nap when I used to not feel very good because I had a headache. And I'd go lay down, and he would come lay with me, take a nap with me. He went everywhere with me that would allow him to come with me. And if they didn't allow him to come with me, I didn't go there. I just kind of quit going to those places because of him, because I got to spend time with him. I guess that's the hardest part about it. He's 16 years old. That's a long time for a dog. So I've had him through, 2009 when we got him. And I was working full-time at an insurance company. And then in 2013, we switched where I was working for my husband. And when we did that, we started bringing the dogs to work with us. So since 2013, he's gone to work with me every day. He's been with me every day, just about, except when we go on vacation. So he's all I know. And I'm all he knows. It's just been my life every day. It's like, so, letting him go is so hard. pet ownership, right? We don't need a pocket. You are the pocket. Okay, so if I put this over here, and this is going to go like that, and then let's just put this right here. I mean, I know it's flowers. I could leave it off and plan to put my photographs over that. Another thing I could do is take a piece of paper and, you know, say place photo here type thing. What do you think? And then I could just put a picture of how these grew on there. I don't know what to do, but I think what I'll do first is glue down this pocket. And that way it'll be drying because we're gluing to a gel print. Okay. Hey, Elijah! He's 3 years old now. That's amazing. Still going strong. Hey, buddy, how are you? I hope you're well today. Okay, let's smooth this one out. Smoothing it out. Okay. Now, this one, again, I got to remember that we're gluing onto a gel print. All right, I'm just going all the way around that outside edge first. Okay. Close the glue. Don't make a mess. You should see the faces. I'm not 3. No. He's 3 at schools. He's 8. Okay, gosh. I was like, I thought he was older than that, but it just went, choom. Well, good grief, Elijah. You're an old man. You're an old man. You're going to be driving away soon. That's funny. I don't know why. He's in the 3rd grade. Okay, I like that. Now, do I want to put... I don't know. I can always just put the photos over it. I may even do them like a waterfall. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. So if I decide I'm going to do the photographs, I could do them as a waterfall over this image. I could make them into a tag that goes back here. And maybe that's what I'll do is if I go ahead and cut a piece of paper to go in there as my tall tag. And say, oh, it's an old man. I had this paper. Maybe we'll use this one. I think this one, because it kind of has a little bit of that pink on it. And what I'll do is I'll cut it to fit in the pocket. And then we will be able to mount photos on it. So how deep is this? Okay, so this pocket is 6 inches deep. So if I cut maybe a 9-inch tag out of that, And this needs to be just under 3.5 inches. So probably let's go 3.25. I could also cut 3 of these. So we're going to make them 9 inches tall. And I want to make them 3.25 inches wide. So I'm going to cut one and test it. So, do I go ahead and cut up more of these? I'm going to do one more. I can't get 4. If I had made them 3 inches, I could have got 4. But if I put 2 of them in here, and I can post photos on these pieces to help chronicle my stuff. Uh-oh. I know you have that. You have that little bitty frame. You have it. It was part of a set, wasn't it? And mine has a tendency to hide, so I keep it on a block all the time. And when I don't, I have this little bitty, and this is a tip for you. If you have stamps that you use all the time and you've got them stored somewhere else and it takes you too much time to go get them, I took a piece of cardstock and folded it in half and I laminated it. And this is a great little miniature temporary spot, and it's small, so you can put quite a bit on here small wise and be able to find it. You know, like I've got grow and bloom, and I want to be able to swap back and forth between those, so I've got those out. Okay, so we glued that down. Let's make this into a tag. So I'm going to cut the corner off, and I think I like, do I want that one or this one? Yeah, let's do this deeper one. So I'm going to line these up. I have an old gift card here that I've cut a corner out of, and I just find that it's so much easier to get consistent size, and I don't have to have a punch. I've just got an old card that I used. I am going to put, let's put a hole at the top, and maybe, since I haven't used it in a while, maybe we'll get some ribbon out for our tag. So I'll try to get as close to the center as I can. Okay. I saw some ribbon a moment ago, but I don't know if it's the right color. I have some navy ribbon, and I have this teal ribbon. I was just trying to use what was already on my desk, so I think I'm going to do that. I'm also going to turn on my sewing machine. I don't know if Sewing Lamb will work for the sewing cam. It might be on vacation because my camera just slid. The camera doesn't want to work. I think I might be able to do that. Let's see here. Power. There we go. So I am going to take a piece of this and poke it through. Oh, I want to add some distress inks. And when I glue photos on the front of this tag, it'll help stiffen it up, because this is kind of thin cardstock. Hercules wiped everybody out. Oh my goodness. He's telling y'all he's not ready yet. I was letting Jennifer know that Hercules is not doing so good. And we're going on a trip in 2 weeks, and I don't know. I don't think it's fair to Hercules to put him through, where's Mama? You know, looking all the time for me. Because he'll be with strangers. And he doesn't, and then at the same time, he doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm trying to talk myself into it, I guess. Bye. See ya. Thank you for coming by. All right, so I'm just going to poke this through. And I don't want it to be too tall. But I think something like that. So I am going to get my fabric scissors so I can cut this. All right, so that'll be one. And I'll take this to the sewing machine and stitch on here. You could tie a knot. You can also staple it. I'm not a big fan of staples, especially if they're going to be exposed, where you could put your finger on the back side of them. Because I have a tendency to stab myself. And then it looks like I tried to murder a red Smurf. Okay, let's go over the sewing machine. I don't know if it's going to work. Let's see. Let's see if I've got a good... Can you see? Is it working? I'll miss you too. Okay, we've got somewhat there. All right, so I've just got to set up as a zigzag stitch. I can get my foot on the pedal. And I'm just going to stitch across. Really, really simple. Just stitching on there. Okay, let's go back over here. So, this will go in here. And this will go in here. Okay. I didn't put anything on here. I happen to have this little scrap. I know it's going the wrong way, but why not? It's flowers. I'm going to glue that down. I probably should use the other glue, though, because it's a magazine glossy paper. Yeah, you can't hide them all the way. You don't use them. I know I always stab myself, and I'm like, don't do that. Oh, Mishka's on the prowl, huh? Put hot glue over the back of staples. Yeah. That's a good way to do that. You know, place a piece of paper on the other side of it, you know. So it's a inexpensive way to do it, you know, glue something over the back of it. Okay, I like that. So we use the blue there. Let's get the labels out. Let's see what I've got. And then we've got blue here. Or should I use pink because we have pink there? Yeah, let's see what I've got in the pink. I don't have a lot of really dark ones. But I don't want pale pink. Come on there. Give me what I want. Is that it? There's the one I want. Yeah, I think that works. I didn't stamp on that one, so maybe we should find a different stamp to put on there. before I put down the label. I may put the label up high. So let's look at the rubber stamps, my dear. Do I have that one there? I have this corner stamp. So I could stamp here. I don't know if I want to cover it. All right, let's stamp this once and see if I like it or if I should just cover it up. So I was thinking of doing this corner. I think there's enough room. So I'm going to try to, I want to go this way. Now, do I just put this down, which takes up some of the space, or maybe put it in a different spot? I'm thinking putting it in a different spot. And I may use that corner stamp again. I like the way that looked. Okay. Brads. Yeah, brads are a pet peeve too because they stick out too. All right, so then these would go in here. Yep. The seeds, I should have made the pocket just a little bit wider than I did. Oh, this one doesn't go here anyway. It goes here. There we go. Trying to get the seeds at the opposite end so that it can go in the pocket. Right, I did not have this problem earlier. I guess gluing it down and loading it makes it a little bit more difficult. All right, I think I'll put that there because maybe I'll write the year or something there. All right, let's use this glue. And then I'll come back and I'll write my notes about when I planted it, how I planted it, and then I'll print the pictures to put on my tags. I think I like that. So I've got the writing space there, so I'll be able to write on those, write on the backs of the tags. I've got this blank space here that I can either decorate or write more notes. So let's get my notebook out again. I'll put that one in here. So now I've got 3. So that'll flip over. Oh, I didn't put a page tab. So I need to put a page tab on there. I guess I'll put it at the top. Here's one. I had a few punched. I may need to stop and punch a few of them out. You like this idea? Does this give y'all some thoughts of maybe you've been wanting to work on a junk journal, but it's to document something and you may not do everything in chronological order, so you want to be able to move your pages around. You know, use a 3-ring binder. Use this same concept and use, what are they? Like a key ring, that hinged key rings. You can get those. You can tie it with ribbon You could tie it with yarn. And I think I'm going to come down just a little bit and glue that. Yeah. And since we're working with a gel print again, I'm going to use the beacon glue, and I'm just going to put it on one side because, again, I don't know if I'm going to decorate the back. And I like having the tab on top. All right, so we're going to go right about here. Oh, gotta go this way. Okay. Yeah, so now I know you can't see it because of the paper behind, but out of the way. So if you're going through here, I'll be able to flip this over by the tabs if I want. I don't like how this looks. So I'm going to work on my layout here. I haven't decided if I just want to paste this directly on a page. I guess I could work on that. Or if I want to redo my whole map so that it fits on 8.5 by 11. So in theory, I should be able to. There's some little pieces that I was playing around with. So this was an idea of where we were going to put things in our garden. And I don't need this right here, but I could paste this piece onto the page. I think that's what I'm going to do, is working on this. I mean, I've already, written stuff on here. I am going to trim that. I may use it somewhere else. All right, so the idea is that this is kind of a diagram that I can put on here. Now, do I want to find a gel print as the background? I could even do something like, just because it's colorful, I could put that on there. I kind of like that. I don't know. Why not? It's my journal. It's my journal. I'll do what I want. To put all your Linda Israel stamps together. All right, so this putting all, yeah, I keep all of mine together. I mean, I say mine. I keep all my Beeline designs together and the Linda Israels together. I have more stamps that aren't cling mount that I do not have organized very well. I'm kind of thinking just putting that in the center. And I can write a few notes on here. I may end up maybe like a, should I have made a fold out? I don't know. I'm now second guessing what I should do. I'm putting this down to decorate the background. What if I were to put this on another piece of paper that could then hinge and flip over? That might be something to do. Okay, so this page had words on the other side, so I may cover this up, but I'm not going to do it until after I punch the holes. I may end up putting another piece of paper. All right, so if I were to put this onto another piece of paper that we could hinge, and we could write on the back, and we could add a pocket behind it. I don't know. Is that another thing I could do? Is just glue it down. I don't know why I'm trying to add more to it, because I have a space here that if I need to, I can put a pocket and put cards in it, right? I used a repositional glue. It's a zig two-way glue, and made those little boxes so I could figure out where we think we want to put some of the plants. And I think once I have it settled, I'll put on here, you know, planting diagram 2026. And that way, in 2027, I can make a new diagram and see how that worked out. I don't know. In fact, I'm going to get my pencil and just write 2026. And that way I already have that on there. And I don't know that I'm going to worry about anything else on this side of the page, so I'm just going to punch holes. I need to get that other hole punch because this one is so much smaller. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to do on this side, but I think on this side, what if I just put down a piece of coffee dyed paper? I think these are too big. I may need to trim them. Put down some coffee dyed paper, and that way I could write about this layout on this side. I think that's what I want to do. Just glue it down. I don't know if I'm going to cover that notebook yet. What I might do is print some images and text, because it has a pocket on the very front, and I could just slide something into the pocket that kind of describes what the journal is. You know, this is a garden journal 2026. I don't know if I want to make a different, you know, verbiage on it, or if I just say garden journal and don't put the year, because the year is going to be put on all the pages that are inside. Decisions have to be made yet, and this is going to be one of those ever evolving things. Okay, punch holes on this side. Make sure I got the right one. I need to find my big punch. Gotta find it. There we go. Now, do I want to decorate this a little bit? What do we want to do? Oh, I could use this corner stamp because I liked it. I kind of like that it's just simple. So it's not completely naked. It's ready for whatever. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to put a tab, don't I? And it's going to have to say something like diagram. I gotta... And we already decorated the other side, so I'll be able to glue this all the way down. I need to punch some of these tabs out of the coffee dyed paper too. It doesn't look like I have any. I think the white's okay too. All right, so in the middle, where do we want to put this? Because I do have a few that are already at the front. Let's put it all the way down here at the bottom. Okay. There, now I can come back and write some of my notes about what we did or we're thinking of doing. And this can go in my journal. Hey, I feel like I'm making some progress here. What do you think so far? So we've got this page, that's kind of my garden layout. I've planted these seeds already, and so I'm going to add some photographs to the tags in the background here. And that pocket is really tight, so a tip, make the pocket a little bit wider than what I'm putting in it so that the thickness of everything has a little bit more room, a little more wiggle room left or right, because that's very tight in there. But I like the idea that I did with being able to put all the seeds because they're going together. So if I end up planting, you know, 2 different varieties of watermelon, then I could put them on the same page. I feel that would work. These were some lettuces that I've planted, so I've got space to write. I haven't been decorating the back of all the pages. Only did so on the diagram page because the back had writing on it, had printing on it. And then this is the first one that I did off camera. I kind of like how this is going to work. I just haven't decided yet if I want to decorate the backs. It makes it a lot sturdier paper because there's 3 layers in this case. Actually, there's 4 if you consider the graph paper. But it gives a nice feel. I think this would even feel better if the back was covered. Maybe this is where I could go through my scrapbook paper and put the scrapbook paper on the back, just a whole piece. That way it's covering up the text, and if I want, I could add more paper to the back side and it makes it a little bit thicker. So let's look at, because it doesn't have to have writing space. I can add writing space to it. So I've got a couple of, what do you call these, scrapbook pads. See something that, I know that the other side is green, but we could do something completely different. Could put that on the back. That paisley. I have 3 of this paper. It was green, so I could put a green on the back side. There's a green polka dot. There's a different green polka dot. Alright, so let's do this. I'm going to take these polka dots out. And that's 2. I think I need one more something. I could use this green stripe. Yeah, let's use that. Okay. I kind of want to try to finish as much as I can so it's ready. Okay, put this up here. Come on. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, because this one's already got a back. I'm going to do these others. With the words, because they have words. Yes, that's where they were. They're with the words. You found the stamps. Yay! Okay, put this back in here for now. And you go over here for now. I think what I want to do is just glue on the back side of this, and then I'll trim them all off. So I'll add glue here. Apparently put my fingers right in the glue. And go like this. And this will use up some more of my scrapbook paper. Yay! Alright, line that up with the edge of the paper. Line it up. Line it up with the edge of the paper. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Alright, and then we will trim this in a moment and punch holes. So we're going to do that again. And then if I want more writing space, or if I just want to post pictures on the back side, I have options. Because you don't always know exactly what you're going to use. And I find that I need options. My mother-in-law, I made a planner and gave it to her, and I went to see her last week. She goes, "Oh, I have to show you. I'm using the planner. I'm already writing stuff in it." And I was like, yay, I'm glad. All right, so there is the second one. We're also creating some scraps that I can use somewhere else. Okay, I'm going around. Okay, and then right here. Okay. Glue this down. And then we'll get the paper trimmer out, and I'll trim off the excess and punch the holes. Paper trimmer. So I'm just going to line that up. And yeah, it created a little scrap, but I can use it. So when we look at this side, and then when we flip it over, we've got the green polka dots. I'll have to punch the holes, but I think you get the gist of it now. Okay. Okay. One more. So now I've got a plan. I can use my scraps papers, my scrapbook paper, my gel prints, book pages, a little bit of everything. Just trying to smooth that page out a little bit more. One more. Okay. It's a good thing I have 3 bone folders here because I keep getting them out. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to get off here early tonight. Punch these holes and put them back in the journal so we can see how they look. You can tell that the multi-pocket one is a lot thicker than the other pages. It's a heavier paper because of the pocket. Okay. Holes have been punched. So my theory is this is the first page, so that'll go here. And then I've planted these so that can go in here. And I may change the order later, but I've planted these so they can go here. And I may not leave this on this particular page. I just wanted to make something. And so I just grabbed that one. But I have others that I could put in there. So I like it. I like how this is coming out. So this will be the front. And I may end up putting a piece of acetate over it. Maybe what I do, I may take a piece of acetate and lay it over here and stitch it across the top so I can flip it up. But see, these are kind of fragile. They'll pop off. That may be something I do. And then I just stamped on the back and then layering all those pieces. I love the multi-pocket. I think that turned out really cool. Thank you, Julie. And then here's the last page and just putting the stripes on the back. So I've got more papers that I can add to. I'm going to look for my punch. Hopefully I'll find it somewhere. And I think they're different enough, you know, kind of alternating a few things. I may look through some more of my papers and see what other papers. Isn't that fun, Bonnie? I hope you like it. Hey, did y'all enter the giveaway? I think 2 people have. I see Bonnie and Call Me Glitter. You want some junk bucks so y'all can play in the races? I'll give y'all a second to do that. Well, I hope this gives you some inspiration. You know, I was just thinking about what I needed, and I thought, well, maybe y'all would like this idea. I just know that I need to alternate where I put the pockets so that it doesn't end up real bulky in just one spot, that it kind of moves around. So the next one I need to put the pocket, you know, further up on the page instead of just down here on the bottom. Do something creative this week. I know it's hard. We've all got our thing that we're doing, and, you know, life is keeping us busy. But do something for yourself. I've been doing, I didn't even show. I've been doing nails. So this is another set of nails that I've been doing. So I hope you like those. And what else? Working on the garden. Getting ready for a cruise. I went luggage shopping. Oh my gosh. That's another story. Maybe we'll talk about it next time. All right, I see y'all got in the raffle, so let me pick a winner. Where'd it go? Oh, I hit the wrong button. No, go away. Okay. Go here and pick a winner. Julie. All right, go over here and put in Gulie. Where are you, Julie? There you are. And we're going to give you 200 junk bucks. Whoop, whoop. you don't spend it all at one place, okay? Thank you, Julie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do something kind for somebody else. You never know what somebody else is going through at the moment. And your act of kindness will make a big, big difference. There's so many things going on in our world right now that we all have anxieties about and fears about. And we need to realize that God has a plan. We just need to follow his guidance. And don't get upset over the little things. It's not worth it to let it go, as they say. And I'm guilty of it too. So hopefully this kind of resonates with you as well. And you can say, I need to take a breath and not get upset. It's no big deal. It's like Hercules, he can't help that he needs to go to the bathroom so often. And so he doesn't always make it outside. It's like, oh, poor guy, So I try to have sympathy for him. And just like human beings, something they're going through, you never know. So try to have sympathy instead of judgment. It's hard. Try as best you can. Alrighty, everybody. I'm going to get off here and have some time with my husband and contemplate which seeds we're going to plant next, so I know which layout I want to do, because I think I want to try to alternate a little bit in this, in colors and whatnot. Y'all have an amazing week. Do something fun and creative, and know that you are loved. I'll see you next week. I'm going to pick up on this again next week, working on more of the pages, trying to get this done before I start planting a bunch of seeds. Y'all have an amazing week. Lots of love to each and every one of you. Bye, everybody.